Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for All Ohio Students, sponsored by the Ohio Association for College Admission Counseling and Strive Scan. I'm excited today to have our friend here from Clarion University of Pennsylvania to present to you. But before we do that, I have a few housekeeping announcements for you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you, so you may not be using those. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule at oacac.org. The presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, oacac.org. Now, I would like to turn it over to our presenter, Lacey from Clarion. Take it away, Lacey.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lacey Nettleton. I am an Associate Director for Clarion University. Joining you today just to talk a little bit about Clarion University. Myself, just to give you a little bit of background of who I am an alum of Clarion, originally from the Pittsburgh area, actually, but attended Clarion, graduated in 2013, and have been working at Clarion since. So it's definitely somewhere that I've begun to call my home away from home. Clarion is located about an hour across the Ohio border, so not too far of a drive, right on Interstate 80, if you are familiar with that. We have 3 exits, so pretty easy to find, but the town of Clarion itself is most certainly a college town, and that is really what drew me to Clarion. The town itself has right around 6,000 residents, so kind of a smaller, mid-sized town. Main Street does run right through campus, so the university is very much involved in the community and vice versa. Students are constantly out on Main Street, local shops, diners, cafes, really great locally owned, homemade food, diners, cafes, all of that good stuff right off of campus. If you are familiar at all with Cook Forest State Park, it is about 20 minutes from campus. So something that our students like to take advantage of. The past year, it was actually ranked one of the top 25 state parks in the nation, which is pretty exciting, I think, just for Pennsylvania as a whole, because some other state parks on that list were in like Colorado, Vermont, Hawaii, maybe a little bit more exciting places than Pennsylvania. But for us here in Western PA, it is something that we really treasure. And our students do frequent during the warmer months, hiking, biking, kayaking, all of those different outdoor activities. Clarion is also known as the gateway to the Pennsylvania wilds, which is our outdoor region, which consists of Cook Forest, Allegheny National Forest, and Clear Creek State Park. On campus, right now, about 88% of our students are from Pennsylvania. The remainder, though, are typically from our outlying states, so Ohio, New Jersey, New York, Maryland, Virginia. Some outliers also, like California, Texas. We do get students from a little bit of a wide range of backgrounds. We do have about 4,500 students right now on campus. So kind of a mid to smaller size university, not, private school small, but also not big school big either. I consistently knew my teammates, classmates, but always had the opportunity to meet new people as well, which was something I really enjoyed. We do technically have 4 different campus locations. Our main campus is in Clarion, Pennsylvania. So that is where the majority of our 4-year bachelor degree programs are housed. We do have a few other locations specific to 2-year programs, some trade programs, nursing, as well as Clarion Online. And so a few different options for you. We actually offer nursing on every campus, which is exciting. So if that is something that you're interested in, you have quite a few choices as far as programs within nursing, as well as locations you're able to choose from. Just to give you a little bit of an overview as far as size, right now our average class size is about 25. So again, pretty comfortable. As a freshman, I will say you'll have a few larger classes. Typically like a health lecture is going to be your largest class here at Clarion, right around 70 to 80 students. That is going to be your largest class easily the entire 4 years. My junior, senior year, I had classes as small as 11. So really, as you get more specific to that major that you're interested in, start taking some more of those upper level classes, you'll see that class size really shrink as you're getting more one-on-one attention, maybe needing, a little bit more one-on-one attention, especially with those upper level classes. Our student to faculty ratio right now is 16:1. Coming in, you do have an advisor specifically assigned to you relative to your major. So if you're coming in as a nursing major or computer science or education, you are going to have a faculty member specifically assigned to you from that department that is basically going to be working with you then the next 4 years as far as scheduling goes, making sure you are scheduling when you need to and scheduling for what you need to take. Mainly just kind of keeping you on track, making sure that you're taking steps to stay in line with what you need each semester to ultimately graduate on time. With that advisor, though, they are typically someone within your department. You are going to see them probably weekly within classes. So not only are they your advisor, but they are a faculty member that you will actually have classes with throughout the semester. So you really start to build that professional relationship with them. If you're needing any assistance as far as tutoring goes, or maybe you just have some questions, all of your faculty will have open office hours where you can walk in, ask questions, seek out tutoring. We do offer free tutoring on campus. So for whatever course you might be taking, whether it's a gen ed or a major specific class, you can get a tutor, which is pretty great, and they are free for you to utilize. Right now, we do have about 28 nationally accredited programs, which does lead the state school system in Pennsylvania. So that is something that our faculty are very proud of. Some of those, just to name a few, are our business program, nursing, education, but obviously the list goes on. So there are a lot of really well-known programs that Clarion sees a lot of students coming through for. When it comes to campus safety, we actually were ranked last year as one of the top 20 safest college towns in America, so pretty exciting. We do have a lot of different measures in place, though, on campus, and one that I always encourage students and parents to get involved with is our Eagle Alert system. It actually is a text messaging service, so as a student or a parent, if there is anything going on campus, you will actually receive a text message notification letting you know what that is. They are usually pretty dull, to be honest. Maybe a power line is down or a water main has broken, but we do get the occasional for wildlife as well. Just relative to our location in Western PA, we actually have seen Eagle Alerts come through for deer on campus. And so some students might find that a little alarming. For most, I think we're used to deer, but that is something that, your parents can find out about a couple hours away. One that it's also used for is weather. And so that is something nice to know as well. If maybe your evening classes are being canceled due to snow or temperature, we typically do not have very many snow days, just as a fair warning. We are luckily low enough from Lake Erie that we don't typically receive the lake effect snow, which is very nice. But a few years ago, we had a polar vortex, which was about 3 days worth of -10, -20 degree weather. And that was the first time campus had closed, at least in 10, 15 years. So typically not closing for snow. So do pack snow boots because you will be out venturing to class. But when it does come to like wind chill and temperature, we obviously will close for the safety of our students. But our maintenance and facilities staff does a pretty great job of keeping campus clean and easily accessible even when it is snowing. Our housing is 24-hour secured, so you do need your student ID to get into your building as well as your room, which is convenient. If you are living in, say, a 4-person housing option where there are 2 bedrooms, you and your roommate are actually the only ones able to enter your bedroom. So everyone can get into the living area, but you have to actually have a key card to get into your specific bedroom. When it comes to university police, we do have actual campus police that patrol campus throughout the day. They are located pretty central to campus. We also have emergency pools across campus. So they say that no matter where you are, you should have one in sight. So those are there for you if you need them. In addition to that, the town of Clarion has a police force that is about a quarter mile from campus. And then we also have state police barracks right off of the interstate, which ends up being about 2 miles from campus as well. So definitely something that you will see if you were to visit campus. There is definitely an active police force visible throughout the town as well as the university. Some things that students like to get involved with our honors program, as well as study abroad, research, internships. These are all great ways to enhance your experience as a student at Clarion. With our honors program, they have moved to test optional, and so I am going to talk a little bit about that here in a minute. But with our honors program, essentially, they substitute gen ed classes for you in place of honors coursework. So no extra classes per se, but a little bit more rigorous class instead of maybe a general education English. They are substituting those out for you each semester. And then junior to senior year, you will work on an honors level project, typically something specific to your major. About 87% of our students participate in study abroad, research, or internships. And when I talk about research, it's not just, our science majors. We have psychology majors doing research on campus, education majors. So it is something that our students really enjoy having that hands-on experience. When it comes to study abroad, we actually have had a few students do some pretty interesting study abroad trips where they will pair an internship with a study abroad trip. So we had a student a few years ago actually do her student teaching in Ireland, which is pretty awesome. Typically, as long as it is somewhere safe that we are allowed to send you, you can go anywhere from 2 weeks through a full year. Now, that is sometimes tentative based on your major. So if you are perhaps an education major or a nursing major where you have some specific milestones like clinicals or student teaching, that's going to be something that we're going to encourage you to maybe take a summer or a winter break to do that study abroad experience. But we do have some students take advantage of that every year. And I do encourage you, if you are thinking about studying abroad at all, it definitely is something that I would encourage you to do as a student, because that is one thing that I certainly regret not doing, because it does end up being a lot more expensive once you're an adult. So do take advantage of it as a college student. Those savings, the experience, because it's something that you really won't be able to do, once you graduate. All right. So as far as outside of the classroom, we have a lot of ways for students to get involved. We have about 140 plus student organizations. These range from major specific organizations like nursing club, speech pathology club, psychology club, to social, a theater department, Viz Arts Club, ROTC, University Activities Board, which is our largest student organization. These are all really great ways for you to get involved outside of the classroom. Greek life is definitely pretty prominent on our campus. We have an activities fair at the beginning of each semester. And so you have a chance to walk around, kind of like a college fair setup, talk to these different organizations, see if there is anything that you want to pursue, go to a new members meeting, and decide, if that is something that you want to spend time doing. There are quite a few that are service-based, volunteer organizations. So there's really a lot for everyone. If there is anything that you want to do that we don't offer, you also can start your own student organization. And so that is why we have so many. Students have interests, and maybe we don't have that on campus. So it is very easy to start your own organization if it's something that we don't already offer. We do offer Division I wrestling, as well as quite a few other options, Division II. Wrestling is what we are primarily known for. However, we do have quite a few Division II athletic programs that range from basketball, baseball, golf to, football, swimming and diving, tennis, soccer, cross country. So really the full list. With athletics, we are very fortunate and just got a brand new athletic facility. It is pretty much about a year old. It opened last November. So due to certain circumstances, it hasn't been used very much. So it is extra new, only has about half a semester on it so far, but something that has really been a huge plus for our student athletes, as well as our students spectating. Brand new swimming and diving facility, wrestling room, athletic training rooms. So it is something that our athletes are obviously enjoying, but also the student body, because it is a building that is just gorgeous, lends itself to a lot of great spectating opportunities for our students. If you are thinking athletics, but maybe not that Division I or Division II lifestyle, we do offer intramurals as well as club sports. Intramurals are offered each semester. There's typically about 25 each semester, and they are out of our recreation center. So the rec center is open to everyone. It is separate from our athletic facility, but the intramurals really range from badminton, ping pong, volleyball, soccer intramurals to Xbox intramurals. So they do get pretty creative, really just dependent on what your interests are. Those are offered each semester. We typically have about 1,000 students participate in intramurals each semester. So it is something that a lot of our students get involved with. 3-on-3 basketball tournaments, outdoor flag football, they get pretty competitive. And they also do some pretty great prizes through our rec center for different competitions that go on as well. So there is certainly a lot to keep yourself busy if you are looking to get involved in maybe a sport, but not quite that Division II or Division I commitment, which is really convenient. When it comes to the application and admissions procedure, we are currently reviewing applications for fall 2021. So that application review typically happens mid-July. So if any of you are juniors, something to note, our application typically opens the July prior to your senior year. So you can apply as early as the summer. Typically, though, we see the bulk of students applying somewhere between Halloween and Thanksgiving. It's a really nice time frame. Send out those applications or submit them, I guess. Most students don't typically send them, but one of my coworkers has a really bad joke. I'm going to say it anyways because I kind of set myself up for it. He always used to say, stuff the mailbox before you stuff the turkey. So even though many students aren't sending them anymore, that is something that you will hopefully remember to send all of your college applications out prior to Thanksgiving. You don't necessarily have to, but just timeline wise, it's a great time to send them out. You're typically getting them back maybe mid-December. So it's a really great conversation to have, prior to the new year as far as where you've been admitted. We have moved to test optional for fall 2021. At this point, fall 2022 is kind of unknown. Not sure if we will be test optional as well for fall 2022 or not, but it is something that we are talking about currently. For 2021 students, though, we are requiring your transcripts. If you have test scores, please feel free to send them, but you do not have to. We are also test optional for scholarships as well. So that is something that if you have test scores, feel free to send them. But if you don't, we are reviewing students test optional for scholarships as well. And that is something that we notify you about automatically. So once you apply to Clarion, we review your transcripts, test scores if you provide them. We will let you know, typically about 10 to 14 days after your acceptance letter. We'll send a scholarship letter letting you know exactly what it is that you're eligible for scholarship-wise. Our honors program I mentioned is also test optional. They do have a minimum GPA criteria, though, of a 3.64. So just something to keep in mind if you are applying and you're interested in honors. As long as you have that 3.64 GPA, we will notify you that you are eligible for the honors college, and you can decide to reach out and start that process with them or not. We do have a nursing deadline of December 15th. This is truly the only program we have a deadline for. With nursing, it is a pretty competitive program. I'll talk a little bit about that here shortly, but that is our only program that we have a set deadline for. Everything else is rolling admissions. So what that means is you could technically apply to Clarion through next August. which I don't recommend, but you are more than welcome to, if plans change or you realize that maybe come summer, you are thinking about looking at a few other schools, you are more than welcome to apply to us through the start of the fall semester or prior to the start of this fall semester. If you have any college and high school classes, dual enrollment, AP, please let us know that. We want to award you credit for anything that you are bringing in. So send those AP test results. If you have any college transcripts, typically as long as you are receiving a C or higher in those college level courses, we will review them and transfer them in for you. Typically with AP, we are looking at a 3 or higher on those test score results. So if you have any of those, please do let us know that and send that information in either once you're done with that college level class or once you've taken the AP exams so that we can award you any credit that you've earned. Test optional. So this is a pretty text heavy slide. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but the main piece here being is that test optional, we are reviewing students with a 3.0 or higher test optional. So if you are a student who maybe is a 2.7, 2.5, we do want you to provide test scores if possible. If you have a chance to take the ACT or even the SAT, we will waitlist you essentially for test scores. I know at this point, a ton of test dates have been canceled. If you do get the chance to, I do encourage you to sign up for a test and see if you are able to take it. Whether that is, December, January, we will review your application. Like I said, realistically, the next 8 months or so. So if you are able to sit for a test, I definitely encourage you to do so. As I mentioned, we are test optional for scholarships as well. So we are reviewing them for both academic as well as need-based scholarships. We're doing that by looking at your GPA, class rank, any test scores if you have them. And then just a few quick notes about our nursing program. We are test optional for nursing. We did just make this change about 2 weeks ago. However, there are a little bit higher standards for our nursing program. So if you're interested in, per se, the BSN program, that is a 3.5 or higher. And then we do the 2-year ASN program, and that has moved test optional with a 2.75 GPA or higher. And then in addition to that, some other specifics due to program requirements. We do have a 5-year bachelor's to master's in speech pathology that is currently still requiring an SAT or ACT, since it is a very accelerated program. And then obviously any students who are looking at like LECOM or Logan for pre-med, pre-chiropractic, pre-pharmacy, any of those pre-professional programs, those test scores, either SAT or ACT, are still being required. If you do have any questions specific to this, since this is a very lengthy slide, please feel free. You are more than welcome to reach out to me, call the admissions office, let us know what questions you have, and we can help walk you through this. So Clarion is broken down into a couple different colleges, and they are based on majors. So our first and largest college is the College of Arts and Sciences. This college houses our nationally accredited BFA art program, our communication department, which has a really robust, they're called the Eagle Media Production House. It is our student-led TV production studio, as well as radio station and newspaper. So something that is super exciting for anyone interested in communication or digital media. You have those things at your fingertips as a freshman, which is pretty awesome. Within our Science and Tech Center, we also have a state-of-the-art scanning electron microscope. This is something that typically you would not be working with until perhaps upper level, junior, senior year, or perhaps even a graduate level program. Our Science and Tech Center has one, and you are actually using it as a freshman, which is pretty exciting. So definitely very hands-on opportunities for you. Within this college, it does house all of our visual and performing arts majors, social sciences, hard sciences, communication, English and modern languages, as well as all of our pre-professionals. So they are all listed under here. Something that we are pretty well known for based on our location would be our environmental sciences, just to add that as well. Due to our proximity to the Clarion River, Cook Forest State Park, Allegheny National Forest, we do have a ton of outdoor opportunities for students, and a lot of your classes are actually going to be outdoors. And so that definitely is a perk for our environmental science, whether it's environmental bio, environmental geoscience majors. Aside from that, we do have astrophysics as well, which is kind of a little bit of a niche major, if you will. Not a ton of students that look for astrophysics, but it is something that we do very well. We also have a planetarium on campus, which is pretty awesome. So you have that at your fingertips as well. We have had students go on to actually be planetarium curators. So one of our most recent graduates went on and is now working at a university in South Carolina, and I'm blanking on the name, but he is their planetarium manager, which is pretty cool. So definitely a lot of hands-on opportunities really within all of these majors. And if you are a student who's saying, you know what, I'm interested in a different major, but maybe I'm involved in theater right now, or chamber singers or choir. Those are things you can get involved with regardless of your major. So if you have an interest in theater, whether it's on stage or behind the scene, you can get involved, and you don't have to be a theater major, which is pretty nice. So you have some room to kind of get involved in a few different things. Our second college is the College of Business Administration and Information Sciences. This college is AACSB accredited, so that is an international accreditation that we hold for our business programs. The neat thing about that is, as a smaller state school, that puts us in the ranks of like Carnegie Mellon, Robert Morris University, Pitt, Penn State. Business program wise, ours is right up there with others. And so super exciting for any students interested in business. That we are ranked every couple of years. We just had our reaccreditation about 2 years ago, I think, maybe 1 to 2 years ago. But it is something that our faculty, again, are super proud of. We also have a 96% placement rate from this college. So within business or computer science or information systems, students are getting jobs, which is super exciting. They do a really great alumni mentor program with our students. So no matter what major you are within this college, we are pairing you up with an alumni mentor your sophomore year. And so this is something that this college specifically does. They do it really well. They have a really robust alumni body that loves to be involved with our current students. And so really great opportunities for you, whether you're thinking finance or computer science or international business or library science. They're working with you to get you involved with a past alum, typically someone who is also from your area. If possible, we really try and do that for our students. For any, Ohio alums that are involved in or were involved in any of these programs, we're going to try and pair you up with someone specific to your major as well as your area, which is pretty great. And so you're working with them the next couple years, just really someone off campus, in addition to that advisor and professor, someone that can talk to you about, going through the program more recently than, your professors per se. We do have a full undergrad and graduate library science program. We are one of 2 schools in the state of Pennsylvania that offer this. So library science is, again, kind of one of those niche programs. We do see quite a few students coming specifically for library science. Computer science and information systems, they offer, or not offer, but majority of our students within those 2 programs are basically guaranteed paid internships. That is the only 2 programs I can say that about on our entire campus. Computer science, information systems are just super in-demand majors. So our students are receiving paid internships that are typically turning into jobs as well. So definitely a really robust college, a lot of great opportunities for you as well. Our last but not least college is our College of Education, Health, and Human Services. This houses all of our education programs. as well as speech pathology, psychology, nursing, criminal justice, rehab sciences, nutrition and fitness, all of those health and human service programs, as well as education. Clarion was founded about 153 years ago as a teacher's college. So we are very well known for our education program. We have been teaching teachers for a very long time. So definitely something that a lot of students come to Clarion for, whether it is early childhood, middle level, secondary ed, intervention specialist, special education. You have a lot of options coming in as an education major. Within the sciences, I mentioned earlier that we have nursing on every campus. We do offer associate to doctoral programs through nursing. So you can do a 2-year ASN program at a few different locations. You can do the 4-year BSN program at our main campus in Clarion. And then we also have an RN to BSN completion program that is online for those 2-year ASN students, plus an MSN and DNP, which are both online as well. So a lot of options for you within nursing, pretty much the full ladder. We do have a 1.5 million simulation nursing lab that is only about 6 years old as well. So coming in as a nursing major, you are working with dummies. First semester, they are very smart and very creepy. They sweat, childbirth, cardiac arrest, all that good stuff. And so for our students who are coming in as nursing majors, we really want to get you involved early on. It is a direct admit program for the BSN. We do only bring in about 90 students as well. So I mentioned it was very competitive. That is why we have that December 15th deadline. So if you are interested, I definitely encourage you to apply for nursing sooner than later. It is a strict 4-year program as well. So if you are on the fence, something I always caution students, if you are interested in maybe nursing and speech pathology, always go nursing first. And I'm going to say that's probably the case for most colleges as well. Nursing is going to be a pretty specific program. And so I would rather you come in as a nursing major and hate it than come in as speech path and change your major, because that would essentially elongate your program to 5 years, and nobody wants that. So if you are thinking nursing, I always encourage students, go nursing first, especially with direct admit programs, because you're going to find out first semester if it's really for you or not. And if it isn't, that's totally fine. You can switch your major. It's not really going to, throw you off track too much. But if you do come in as a different major and then decide partway you're really interested in nursing, it unfortunately is still a 4-year program because of the nursing curriculum. So that does put you about a year behind. So with nursing, apply early. I definitely encourage you to apply for nursing, even if you're on the fence, because for most schools, it is a pretty competitive program. We want to make sure that, you're getting involved and figuring out if it is for you or not early on. Speech pathology is another program that we are super well known for. We do have a 4-year bachelor's degree in speech pathology and audiology, and then a master's specific to speech pathology. About 100% job placement in speech path. We do see a lot of students come through that do decide to go the audiology route for the master's. So we have some pretty great relations with like the University of Akron, as well as YSU, who have audiology master's programs. And so we do see a lot of students, going elsewhere for that audiology program. But we do have a lot of students that stay at Clarion and do either the 5-year accelerated bachelor's to master's program, or we do have a 6-year traditional bachelor's to master's as well. As far as majors go, a ton of choices. Coming in undecided is something that I never encourage students to stray from. If you are undecided, we're going to get you involved in some courses early on to help you figure out what you are interested in. And so I don't want you to feel like, oh my gosh, I have to pick one of these majors. There's so many to choose from. It's great to have an idea of what your interests are, but we're going to help you first semester, get you involved in some of these introductory courses and see, what ultimately you really like and what you don't like. I actually started at Clarion as undecided. My first semester, I took an introductory accounting class as well as an introductory education class. As you can tell, I am neither an accountant nor a teacher. For me, my first semester was very eye-opening to what I didn't want to do, but that's never a bad thing to happen. And so we want to get you involved early on and help you figure out, what it is that you're ultimately interested in. As far as cost goes, right now for the full year, it is right around $28,000. So this is housing, tuition, meal plan, everything included. Now this is specific to Clarion campus, just so that you know, but that, like I said, is typically where the majority of our four-year programs are. $28,000 is your housing, meal plan, as well as tuition and fees. This does not include any scholarships that you may be eligible for, any grants, federal financial aid, anything along those lines. So this is, you could say, like our sticker cost. When it comes to types of aid, I always encourage students to file the FAFSA. We will receive your FAFSA if you include us on it, and we will send out an estimated offer letter, which is essentially that 28,000 number minus any scholarships you're eligible for, as well as any federal grants, financial aid, anything along those lines. That will give you ultimately your out-of-pocket cost as a student, which is going to be different from mine and anyone else's. But with scholarships, I mentioned they are automatic. So we are going to let you know what you're eligible for academic-wise. Anything that you can bring in, though, from, say, your high school community, your parents' workplace, even your workplace, if you work at like Taco Bell or McDonald's or Eaton Park, I always encourage students, leave no stone unturned. Look for scholarships everywhere, because we will take in any scholarships that you bring with you. Something to mention too about scholarships, our specific academic scholarships are 4-year renewable. So anything we are offering you as a freshman, as long as you come to Clarion, maintain your GPA, that is something that we are going to give you all 4 years while you're on campus. So that is definitely something that's kind of nice to know. As an Ohio student, that range typically is 3,000 up to 8,000 a year. So that is something that you're going to be awarded. We'll let you know that automatically, like I mentioned. And then as long as you maintain your GPA, you will have that scholarship all 4 years. So when it comes to housing, all of our housing is suite style. We do have living and learning communities as well. So depending on where you're interested in living, we do have some specific living and learning communities based on majors as well as interests. We have like a business, LLC, health and human services, gaming, active U, which is like they're into, they do like planned runs, and we have a hiking trail off of campus. So they'll do that perhaps. But they're all based on different interests. So you can choose to live in an LLC or just decide to live, say somebody else that's coming to Clarion, you can choose to live with each other. But you do have quite a few choices as far as housing goes. So we do have the Suites on Main, which is directly on Main Street. They are the newest style of housing on campus. And with Suites on Main, you have a shared semi-suite as well as a private semi-suite. These are both 2 students sharing a bathroom. The private semi-suite, however, actually has 2 individual bedrooms. So the shared semi-suite is like your traditional residence hall style room, 2 people sharing a bathroom. The private semi-suite is 2 individual bedrooms and then sharing a bathroom. We also have the Hilltop Suites, which are my favorite style of housing. They are a little bit more central to campus. They actually have a full living room area. So you walk into a living room, 1 bedroom, 2 people sharing a bathroom, or 2 bedroom, 2 people in each bedroom sharing a bathroom for that 4-person style. So you have your choices as an incoming freshman of any of these styles. Again, like I said, you can choose who you live with as well. So it's a really simple process. You request each other. So if you know somebody else who's coming, it's really easy. You start the housing application and you just request each other as roommates. And our housing office will honor it as long as you're not interested in an LLC. If you're interested in an LLC, they're going to honor that first and make sure that they're giving you into that living and learning community. But otherwise, housing wherever you want to live, in any of our on-campus choices. When it comes to dining, we have about 6 different dining facilities on campus, and that ranges from our Eagle Commons dining hall, which is all you can eat, to our food court, Starbucks. We have quite a few cafes on campus as well, so a lot of options for you for grab and go. We do have a ton of different meal plan options, so whether you're interested in eating twice a day or 10 times a day, we have a 2 meal a day or like an unlimited. So just depending on your preference of how many times you eat, if you are a breakfast eater or not, that tends to kind of dictate as far as meal plans go and what might be best for you as a student. So when it comes to next steps, I definitely encourage you to apply to Clarion if you have not already. As I mentioned, we are test optional, so you can apply online at clarion.edu/apply. Send us those high school transcripts, and we'll review those. Typically, it's about a 2-week process after we receive everything that you will hear back from us. If you do decide that Clarion is where you are interested in attending, your admissions deposit is a $100 admissions deposit that lets us know you're serious about attending. This basically enables you to start the next steps in the process of signing up for housing, as well as signing up for orientation, which opens in February, I believe. Our housing app actually just opened today. So students coming in for fall 2021 can officially start the housing application today, November 4th. But it is open, through the spring semester. If you have a preference of housing, though, I definitely encourage sooner than later. Housing selection, like the specific room selection, opens in February. So at this point, it's really just the application and choosing an LLC if you're interested. Actual room selection starts February 1st, I believe, the first week of February, where you can actually choose which room, which building, the specifics of where you're living. Without anything else to mention, this is just my contact information if you have any questions or would like to reach out. I do encourage you, if you are interested, we are offering on-campus visits on a limited basis. So obviously taking some precautions, health assessments prior to visiting. We are requiring all students to only bring 2 guests with them. So kind of a smaller group setting, typically meeting with a counselor, and then an individualized campus tour as well. Obviously following all CDC guidelines as far as wearing masks in buildings as well as outside. So during the campus tour outside, but I do encourage you, if you are interested, to sign up for a campus visit. We are also offering virtual visits as well. So if you have some specific questions about maybe a certain major or scholarships, you can sign up for a specific, one-on-one virtual appointment as well. I want to thank you all for joining me. Just a few questions to answer here quickly. Something that we always get asked a lot is, are you allowed to have a car on campus? That is probably like the most asked question that we receive. You are allowed to have a vehicle as a freshman. We have 2 different options for you: a paid option where it's $150 and you can park on campus, or a free option where you actually would park at our athletic stadium, which is about a mile down Main Street. With that being said, we also do have a university bus. So if you are not bringing a vehicle to campus, you really don't need one. The university bus will take you all through town, out to the athletic stadium, the Interstate 80 exit, the main one, which is kind of like our business district, Walmart, shopping plaza, a ton of restaurants, hotels. So that bus will take you pretty much all through campus. Thank you again for joining me. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to take like a quick screenshot of my email address and let me know if there's anything I can answer for you.
Thank you so much, Lacey. That was very helpful. We want to thank everybody for joining us today. You will receive a link to a quick survey after you close this window. It'll be just a quick 4-question survey. And we want to remind you that you can sign up for more sessions and view more recordings at oacac.org. And again, the recording of this session as well as others will be available at that same link, oacac.org. So thanks so much, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Have a great day.